Hey everybody, welcome back to the Teenaging Podcast. My name is Nikki and I'm joined today by
Rihanna.
and
Sarah.
guys, I've been really happy to going back to school because like during in quarantine, the friends that we usually hang out with, I don't talk to them. I mean, like it's not like we're not close or anything. It's just that because school provides such a convenient environment for us to interact in, that it's harder to do it outside of school. And
Yeah.
I realized the friends I do talk outside of school is so much smaller. And like, I don't get I don't get many text messages I did before. So yeah. Anyway. What about you guys?
um, I get the text messages. I just choose not to reply. I'm just
Why?
like, I was vibing with quarantine. I think that I needed a break, and it served as a decent one, and I didn't mind the amount of online work, to be honest. Like, I kind of got used to it after a while. You get into the hang of things, and then
Mhm.
like you just get so comfortable, and then to go back to like waking up like super early to get ready and like seeing people, and I'm just like, I was like, I was okay with quarantine. Maybe that was the life for me. But then again, I would have probably went insane if it went on forever. But like, I could have I would have been okay if this went on until the end of the year, and then I come back next year and it's like a fresh new start to year 11. So,
Really?
yeah.
I missed everyone so much because I love being like I don't love, but it's nice being distracted in class because I don't know, it's like an escape from all the work you have to do when you just have
Yeah.
someone next to you and you just talk to them, you know?
I like getting the work done cuz then like I don't have to worry about it later. So like, you know what I mean?
Similar to what I said before, I don't know about like the rest of you guys, but school in Australia has already like started back full time. But during when quarantine was in place, I felt the need to like still reach out to friends that I don't really talk to, even though I may not want to talk to, because
Mhm.
I guess like we just never really connected that well, so I don't feel the need to. But because that we got along so well in school, I felt like I had to cling on to that connection by trying to reach out. So I don't know, but I don't know if that's like a mean thing. It's just like it's just how I feel personally about that person. Like we could go on months without talking, and I'll be sort of like okay with it. I mean, like I'll miss them, of course, but I don't know. I'll feel like pretty okay. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like there's a sense of obligation to have to keep the friendship going, even
Mhm.
though we're in quarantine or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would find myself doing the same exact thing where people I'd hang out with school, I'd text, and I noticed that like the conversation is kind of dry and it's not flowing like as smoothly as we when we talk at school. And so I felt kind of guilty that I couldn't talk to them one on one in text, but at school in a group setting, I'm fine because everyone else is there to keep the conversation going, and I don't feel as like dependent for the conversation to go.
Right, because in group they can fill in when you don't have anything to say.
Yeah,
But let's say like it's one on one, you have to keep the conversation going. It's like a game of tennis. But because like
exactly.
I think like similarly like us in we're in similar in the way that it's kind of hard to keep the conversation going. I don't know. Say like tell me if I'm wrong. Is it like one on
It
one?
is. It is a lot harder.
I think it also depends on the person though. Like
Hmm.
if it's like a close friend, I don't care. Like we can go on for hours, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because I think there are certain responsibilities and obligations we have to uphold as a friend, but like sometimes the line isn't clear on whether or not you have to fulfill them based on various factors, and in turn make us feel quite guilty.
I agree, Rihanna. I feel like it really depends on the like intimacy. I don't know intimacy, like closeness of your relationship with that person. Like for some people, I don't care if I don't fulfill that role or whatever. I don't know. It like sometimes it's not about whether you're close, but sometimes I feel like they think I'm close, but I don't
Mm.
think we're that close. So I feel like I have to return the favor by saying, "Oh, like." XYZ makes me a good friend in order, so I have to do that to that person, even though I'm not that close to them, but they think they're really close to me, so I have to do that back, you know? It's like unrequited friendship and
Mm-hmm.
obligations that come with it. But there's also very toxic forms. Like I know people who pay for their friends' food, like
Yeah.
almost every single day. And I just see them like, "Hey, can I have $1? Can I have money?" And they say no. They're like, "No, I'm saving it," or whatever. And the other person's like, "Come on, please, just today," and repeat for the next year. You know?
Yeah.
Do you guys see people like that? Like at school, do you witness people just being selfish and take advantage of other people?
Um, I kind of live in my own world, so I don't see it that often. Like, I really be like secluding in the history staff room. Yeah,
Oh yeah, you hang out in the teacher staff room, right?
I
That's so
love
cute.
them. This such queens. I actually love the history staff room so much.
Sometimes like adults are just better to talk to than
I know, right?
teens. We'll have like
Mm.
yeah, prepubescent teens, pubescent. Okay, cut that out. I don't want to sound dumb. Anyway.
Keep it in. Keep it in. Nikki, this is about being natural. Oh my god. Like literally, whenever I was looking at your videos today for the TikTok thing, and I'm like, girl, who is gonna watch our TikTok if we're like the perfect people? Like, hi, welcome to the Teenaging Podcast. I'm like, girl,
You're
mix
right.
it up, be a little bit, show your personality. You are perfect with your imperfections, girly. I was
Should I
like,
re-record it?
yeah, I was like, she's being too perfect. Like, you can't, like, people don't want to watch a perfect person. They want to watch someone that, like, they can relate to.
Yeah,
Wow, I love
okay.
this criticism. It just came out of nowhere.
No, thank you. I felt the same. I was like, this is not me. This is such a commercial kind of video. But
Hi,
I
I'm
had to make
Nikki.
it short. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk about it later. But what was I say before? Oh yeah, and I also see other people like stealing their friends' Wi-Fi or data, and I find that so annoying. It's like, oh, can I just borrow your data? Can I borrow your charger or whatever? And they just take it, you know.
Yeah.
And even like like copying down homework or whatever, and doing other people's assignments. I don't like that. It's like it feels like it's one of the ways you have to keep the relationship. It's like it's like this morphed idea that because you're in a friendship, all of that is justified and all of that makes you a better friend when really that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
not the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there's this definition of what it means to be a good friend in the first place, if that's not the case. So what do you guys think are like, I guess, the universal principles to just being a good friend? That has nothing to do with, filling in these very superficial roles and obligations for other people.
You're honest enough to call people out on what they're doing, because I think sometimes people confuse friendship with like this kind of unconditional loyalty, but I think that friendship is more about like being honest and comfortable enough with someone that you can, you know, point out their weaknesses and point out their strengths and be like, here's a way to grow and here's what like I appreciate about you. So if like I think that friendship at its crux is about that honesty, to be comfortable enough to say, hey, this is where you need to improve and this is where you're doing well.
I agree. I feel like a lot of the time, what people perceived as a good friend or like what a best friend should be is unconditional loyalty, as you said. But if
Mm-hmm.
it comes to the point where it's like they ignore, completely neglect your weaknesses and just kind of glorify you almost. I don't know. Like, let's say someone talks bad about you, but it's kind of like justifiable or reasonable. They would like undoubtedly, I guess, condemn that person. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, um, like they just blindly be very loyal to
Mm-hmm.
them. You
Mm-hmm.
guys know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. What about you, Rihanna? What do you think? Like,
I think a good friend is someone you can be very open with, knowing that they're not gonna betray you or tell someone else, and they're not gonna judge you on the situation you're talking about. They're generally listening, they're trying to give you advice back, or just be there to support you, and
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I think Rihanna, like, you're right. Like, when you come out of a conversation with your friend, you should always feel like they've helped you in some type of way, or you feel good after it. If you're coming out of conversations with your friends and you're feeling worse about yourself and you're feeling like you've been drained, then that's not a friendship. I know a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
feel like that, where like they feel like they're just going through the motions of like being there to support someone, but they don't feel that support back.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're
Mm.
feeling like that, it's really just like a one-sided relationship. And either you need to again, like, confront that person, be like, "Hey, I I like your presence, but I need more from my like side." Or you have to kind of leave that behind if it's not benefiting you in a positive way.
Wow, Sarah, you're full of good ideas in this episode too.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I think a lot of the time people are too scared to be kind of like the enemy because they think they're their friend, you know. So
Yeah.
they're constantly being trampled on or like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, taken advantage of without knowing it and thinking that's what it means to be a good friend. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So Sarah and Nikki asked, well, I'm not gonna say few, literally just one friend of theirs, for their input on the topic obligations in friendships. And Sarah asked one of her good guy friends.
Oh my god. Rihanna, the way you said that, don't,
Yeah,
Lisa,
like why do you hint
Lisa,
it like
don't
that?
Sorry.
insinuate it like this weird. So essentially, what my friend said is that friendships come with loyalty and trust. Trust that you will keep their secrets and you'll be loyal to them. You have to be nice, but you also can't be too nice. You got to know how to stand up for yourself because sometimes they won't be there. So knowing how to stand up for yourself and your friends is also important. You got to make sure you know how to be present. So whenever something is up or you feel like you're excluded, you know how to kind of confront people and you're not kind of dependent on your friend. So that's what he had to say about it.
Oh, like a crippling codependence on your friend.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. He brought a really good point. He said, like, kind of like brush over the fact that you have to always be transparent with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and speak up for whatever that is wrong. And sometimes it is hard, you know, because like you don't want to ruin the relationship and whatever. So I think it's just a matter of like saying it in a respectful way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so one of my other guy friends also listed out some things he has experienced in his social life, in terms of like obligations and friendships. The first thing he said is when someone gets something for me as a gift, I feel like it's my responsibility to give something back. And I kind of agree with that too, because I don't know, like one of the people in our group always give me birthday presents, and I don't I don't remember their birthday. I don't remember their birthday, but they're like not too close to me. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's you know what I think I'm at fault. I don't know. I know we always say like, oh, you don't have to get me anything, but it's sort of like a symbol of friendship and your closeness. I feel like I have to give
Mm-hmm.
something back. Anyway, the second thing he said is when someone has finally invited me to be part of their friend group, I feel like it is my responsibility to make that friend group better and happier. In doing so,
Oh
I don't
yeah.
really take care of myself that much as I do for the friend group. I feel like if I don't impress the friend group, they will not talk to me and leave me alone. In other words, I try to make people happy, but at the end, don't take time to care for myself and end up being really hurt or damaged from the inside. Oof.
Oh, that's deep.
Oh,
Yeah.
we should really have a talk to him after because he's in our friend group. So, um,
Yeah.
Big one.
uh, uh,
Woohoo! Ooh.
anyway, dude,
Dude, if you're listening to this mystery friend, I just want you to know that you don't have to like do all these things. Like I know for me as well, it's really difficult because you start to think that once you work so hard to be in a friend group or be included or be invited to something, you kind of feel like you have to give also something back, when really all you need to do is be yourself. And I know that's so typical, but really that's why we want you in the friend group in the first place, not because, you provide us with money or you do anything else, anything materialistic. And I know a lot of the time we have that kind of idea, which is, I understand it's quite harmful for ourselves as well. Sometimes it feels like being in a friend group is almost like a trial run. You constantly have to either make really good jokes in order to be liked, or be favored, or just try to be or be super nice, or be super open, or be super friendly, be something else that you're not, in order to impress them, or in order to fit in and still be always included, and will be almost like a permanent member of the friendship. This also applies to like parties, like if I get invited to a party, or if I get invited to a birthday party or some kind of event, I feel like we kind of have to invite them back as well. It's kind of this back and forth thing to make sure that we're all on equal ground. But I think for the friends, our friends' case, it's really prevalent in high school. Like we always try to impress other people in order to stay in the friend group.
I think I can relate in a sense when last year I was becoming friends with like a few year 10s and a few new year 9s that I've never talked to before. And I felt this pressure to be very like cool and like chill because they had sort of that personality. And I remember like sort of, I don't want to say like completely changing myself, but I was changing my personality when I was around them, which became very like tiring and kind of toxic. And I remember having this like, what do you call it, like a realization, that epiphany, there we go. I had an epiphany that if they're not gonna like accept me for when I'm like just like my normal self, then it's not worth being friends with them. But I was lucky in the sense that when I was starting to be myself, they still stayed friends with me, and now we're still really close.
Beep. Okay, this is Nikki from the future editing. We lost a lot of footage, so if you hear me like in and out really weirdly, I'm just trying to fill in the gaps. Anyway, I wanted to add something to Rihanna's point. I remember even now, like after a lot of time has passed since the recording, like I find myself still trying to impress people and change myself in order to have a friendship with them. And I think that applies to, so many people today, even adults, really, that, like, even today, oh my god, this sounds so stupid. Okay, oh my god, I really hope our friends aren't listening to this, but, like, I try to be, like, okay, like, cooler than I am. I don't know, it's just, like, I try to act chill, like Rihanna said. I try to act, like just out of character, because I think we always want to appeal to our peers to be liked, because we don't believe that our natural selves is likable, maybe because of a snide comment someone said, or maybe the way someone reacted to by the way we acted, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I hope that does. I just think that that's one of the reasons why we try to act cooler than we are a lot of the times. Even me, like, I tried today to be like, oh, I love skipping class. I don't fucking know. Okay, it's just, and I have to really step out of my comfort zone, but that also means stepping out of my natural zone, if that makes sense. I don't know, but yeah. I think it's just for me personally too, that sometimes I'm really unhappy with the way I am looked on the outside. Like, I don't know, a lot of people think I'm too nerdy, or, too intimidating, or too like goody two shoes. Like, I've gotten that a lot, so I try to act like like I'm not that, so I try to step out of my comfort zone and try to do things that I normally wouldn't do or wouldn't normally do in regards to how people perceive me, so I can be liked in all different forms by different people, and that's satisfying. That's like feels good, I guess. I hope this really makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. It's like 1 o'clock right now, so I literally like 12:53. But yeah, that's my little input, I guess.
I said a healthy friendship is not reliant and the constant. Okay, I'll do it properly. Okay, I just want to wrap it up by saying a healthy friendship is not reliant on the constant need for a person. Rather, the person or group of people improve you and how you are as a person. Whether that makes you happier or you're more supported by them or you become a harder worker, they improve you to be a better person, to be on your own 2 feet and be an independent human being. But that doesn't mean that they become your 2 feet. You gotta understand that. Your friends are there to improve you, not to be with you constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, I just want to say, okay, I need to stop. Go follow our Instagram, The Teenaging Podcast, our Twitter, The Teenaging Pod, our YouTube, The Teenaging Podcast. Yeah, we hope you have a great quarantine and we hope you're all safe. Bye.
Bye.